Hi, Chandralal.
Hi, Monu.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Very good. So, where are you now? Where am I? I'm in Bangalore talking to you now. Where are you now?
At present, I am in Kollam,
Okay.
Tangisheri, in my residence.
Okay, great. Now, good morning, Chandralal. Welcome to the Daily Brunches Zoom meeting.
Yeah, good morning, Monu. Good morning.
Thank you. And I will just tell the readers about who this gentleman is. By the way, it's a big honor for us to have I call him Mr. Golden Gloves. This is Mr. Chandralal Damodaran, the boxing coach of the Indian boxing team, and also the recipient of the Dronacharya Award from the Government of India. And now has been declared for the year 2021 Kerala's Olympian Suresh Babu's Lifetime Achievement Award also. Congratulations on our behalf of all our readers and me in particular on your great achievement. And welcome to our conversation.
Thank you.
First of all, it's an honor to have you there because normally we do individuals on food and artificial intelligence and IT and all that. But having you as a boxing coach and a Dronacharya Award winner, it's a real honor for us. I use the name Golden Gloves for you because I have noticed what is the specialty of the name Golden Gloves to you?
See, Golden Gloves, at present, Golden Gloves is the name of my house, my residence over here in Kollam.
Wow.
Okay. Basically, we had a club in Tangisheri in Kollam by named Golden Gloves. And that was a club which I was brought up and I started boxing in that club. And with that label, we came out well. And we used to organize state level boxing championships also there. So that's the way I got it attached. And later I came to know that our all-time greatest professional boxer, Muhammad Ali, was also having a club. And his personal club was known as Golden Gloves Gym in USA. So the name has been come from there. And we also had the chance of following the same principle. And later, I made the name of my residence, my official house as that. And there is a reason behind that. The house where I'm staying now, I bought this plot and constructed this house. And all the expenses which I have met for this is from the achievement of my trainees. When my trainees have won medals in the official world championship and all, the government of India, Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports used to give, incentives and cash awards. So not only for the trainee, myself being the coach of these prominent trainees, I also have received.
So you're trying to tell me that all the medals your trainees have won and the awards they get are also shared with you? Is that what you're trying to tell us?
Yeah, actually, see, whatever the incentives they are getting, they will get it. But I am getting it from the ministry, not from the pocket of the trainees. Yeah.
Oh,
Because, when if a trainee is getting 10 lakhs, the coach also get 5 lakhs incentive by the central government.
Wow.
So that's an incentive purely for the coach. And I have, accumulated all those amount and I bought this plot and made a house of it. And it is named as Golden Gloves. And I have kept my house open for all the boxers, whoever is coming to Kollam. They can stay with me, they can dine with me. Because, whatever I have achieved is through boxing. So it is left for the boxers.
Fantastic. Because for me, everything, so it interests me because Golden Gloves is now the name of your house where the boxers are invited, and also the name of the first of the boxing clubs in your hometown where you were practicing and all that. So how did you get into boxing? How did you get into boxing? Let's start from the early days.
Yeah, actually, basically, I was an athlete. During my school days, I was doing athletics, and my main event was pole vault. I have won medals in the Kerala State Schools Athletic Meet, and even I was a medalist in the Kerala University Athletic Championships many times. And since I came to know that pole vault doesn't have much future,
Okay.
in Kerala, because you know you need a fiberglass pole, you need a big mat, pit and all. So it was not available. So
Okay.
during my, after my 10th standard, I used to do cross country and all in Tangisheri itself. Those days
Okay.
we had a senior boxer from Tangisheri itself. His name was Binoy Paul. So
Okay.
he used to, he used to tell me, when you go for cross country, you call me also. So it was
Okay.
an order. It was not at all a request. And
Okay.
we all used to get scared during his time because he was a great boxer during our days. So I used
Okay.
to call him and he used to run with me. Then he has motivated me. He said, anyhow, you are running. Why don't you learn little boxing also? It will help you. At least you take it as a, see, as a passion. No doubt you are doing athletics. So
Okay.
sometimes you can try with boxing also. So he taught me boxing and I have picked up like that. And later, after 3 or 4 months, we had a state championship in Tangisheri school itself. So that
Okay.
was organized by the Golden Gloves Gym, and I was also an organizer. Then all my seniors have forced me, let us try, you are good, you can also compete. Then I competed over there. And luckily or unluckily, I was about drawn to box with a senior boxer who has represented Kerala five
Okay.
times and he
Okay.
was a degree student in Fatima College. His name was, Felix Mothis. So
Okay.
everybody was scared of him. Then I said, I will box with him because I have got nothing to lose because I'm basically an athlete. So let me try like that. And I was drawn to box with him in the final. And I started boxing first round. And I was very comfortable. And I saw the senior boxer just backpedaling with fright. Then I came to know these people are nothing and I can, beat them. And I started rushing and moving with the limited skills what I have learned. And
Okay.
with that itself, I was able to beat him one-sided. So that was the end of his career, and that was the beginning of my career in boxing.
So it was the beginning of your boxing career, and Kerala,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
would say,
exactly.
lost. Kerala, I would say, lost a good athlete in Chandralal Damodar.
Yeah,
He moved from
exactly.
athletics to boxing. Now,
Yes.
you were talking about a school. Uh, you studied in that school while this Tangasheri, for the people who don't know what is Tangasheri, I'll just give a brief for the readers. Tangasheri was an old so-called bastion in Koilon town, which is a district in Kerala. And Tangasheri was earlier ruled by the Portuguese, the Dutch, later the British. So they have about 100 acres of 99 acres to be exact. And it was a multicultural mix of people who came there and studied there. And the school played a big role in training students in Tangasheri. So you studied in that school, the Anglo-Indian, Infant
Yeah,
Jesus Anglo-Indian School.
exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm also very proud to say that I also come from the same town. So I
Yes.
know the school very well. I've heard so much about it. Now, coming to the major award in your life, from that Golden Gloves Club to Fatima College, where you leave athletics and beat Felix and get into boxing.
Yeah.
In 2007, if I'm not mistaken, I think you have got the Dronacharya Award from the President of India.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Yes.
in 2006, surprisingly, the Indian team of women boxers banged off all the medals in a world championship event.
Yeah.
Would you rate that as the reason for you getting the Dronacharya Award, especially for women's boxing?
Yeah, exactly. See, the women boxing has started in 2001 all over the world. And India also, we had the first women national in Chennai in 2001 January.
So you're
So
telling me
that
that
was the start of
2001 was
women
all
boxing.
over the world. It was all over the world, not only India.
Yeah, exactly. All over the world, it started in 2001.
Okay.
And the first world championship was in Pennsylvania, USA. That was in December 2001. And one of my personal trainee, Lekha, has participated in that tournament also. She
Okay.
lost in the quarterfinal with a Canadian boxer. And it was a
Okay.
very tough bout. So what happened is, see, 2001, we had only a silver medal that was backed by Mary Kom. Even Mary
Okay.
Kom couldn't get a gold there. So that
Okay.
was the start. And when we were able to win medal in the World Championship, the government of India and the Boxing Federation of India started promoting women boxing in a big way. And they have selected the best coaches all over the country working in SAI as well as in state sports department. So
Mm-hmm.
I was Previously, I was looking after the junior men boxers. And I was the coach of an Indian boxer. And that boxer was the first boxer who have won medal in a world championship. That was the first ever medal for India in a world championship. So from that time, that was in 2000. So from there, I was migrated to be as a deputy chief coach for the women. So from there, we started training women in a big way, well supported by the Ministry of Youth Affairs as well as by the Boxing Federation of India. So we built up a good team. And in 2006, we prepared the Indian boxers, and we had a very long training camps with proper scientific support also. And where our federation was asking us that we should get minimum 2 gold. And at the same time, we gave them 4 gold with 1 silver and 3 bronze medals. That was a big, big achievement for India. That India was not able to achieve any other world champion rather than these 4 world champions what we have produced. Mary Kom, Sarita, Lekha K.C. and Jenny R.L. These 4 girls were the world champions in 2005. And no doubt after that, Mary Kom has repeated her performance. But the other 4 were not able to repeat because 2 have retired. And Sarita was keeping on boxing.
Yeah. Chandralal, just in between, of the 4 boxers, you have Lekha, you have Mary Kom, you have Jenny, and you have these 4 people. Sarita. Yeah. They were all trained by you and your team to get to that level.
Actually, we have trained them in the national camp. And those days, the national camp was, continuously from 2001 to 2007 until 2007. It was a continuous training camp. And in between, we used to give them leave. So we were training them all together. But at the same time, Sarita and Lekha was personally, training under me too. Because in boxing, we have an apparatus training known as punching pad. That is very, very important for, peaking the performance. They used to hit in a pad and the coach has to show that. So these 2 girls, Sarita and Lekha were hard hitters. And they were very attached and used in doing punching bag with me. So they doesn't go to any other coaches because their timing, rhythm, speed, reflexes all has to be monitored and it has to be coordinated too. The coach and the trainee should have some sort of understanding too. And these 2 were training under me. And of course, because of that close attachment and continuity of the training, both of them has won gold medal. So that was really a great achievement.
And Lekha is from Kerala and Sarita is from Manipur.
She's from Manipur and Lekha is from Kerala. And later what happened, Sarita from Manipur, she has shifted to Kerala. And she came down to Kollam and she came down to Trivandrum, joined my center. And she continued, rest part of her, boxing career with me. And later stage in 2014-15, she requested with the Minister of Youth Affairs and Sports, Government of India, seeking my permission as a personal coach too. So during the Olympic qualifying round and 2016 World Championship, I was a personal coach, apart from the national coach. Yeah.
So so just to clarify things is that you're personal coach to both Lekha and Sarita.
Sarita, yeah.
As well as the official coach of the boxing team also for the rest of the team.
Naturally. Yes.
Okay. Now, you have been after you have done your diploma in boxing and then sport, and then you've gone to the University of Hungarian Physical Education and done a course in boxing, international boxing. Could you please brief us about that, Chandralal?
See, after joining Sports Authority of India, we were having only some sort of refresher courses and workshops, seminars inside the country. That was not at all helping us. So later, our boxing federation, through Indian Olympic Association, they have approached the International Olympic Committee, known IOC. That's the highest organization in the world which controls and promotes, sports all over the world. And they are the one who's having the right to organize the, Olympic Games too. So IOC has got certain scholarships. And one scholarship has come to India. And luckily, I was nominated for doing that course. And I went to Hungary. After reaching Hungary, there were 60 coaches from different parts of the world. And out of 60, only 10 people were getting the full sponsorship. For that, there was an exam also. Exam was nothing, purely basic English and all. And I was able to qualify that exam, and my full expenses were sponsored by International Olympic Committee. So that is a chance which I got to study over there. And the course was for 6 months. And there were coaches from Cuba also who have produced Olympic champions. But, see, because of my effort and whatever the basic training or whatever the basic education, what I have gained from my, alma mater, Infant Jesus School and all helped me a lot. And later I was judged as the best trainee in that particular course in Hungarian University of Physical Education at Budapest. In 2000, I was the one who came out first. And because of my performance, from next year onwards, they have sent 2 scholarships for India. Previously, it was only 1.
Wow.
So that was a grace. At least I have helped another 2 gentlemen from every year from India to get this opportunity to do this higher course. So I was there for 6 months in Hungary. Later, I have extended for another 6 more months. So I had a very good experience. And during my days, the coach who was teaching me was Mr. Laszlo Pop. He's no more. He was 3 times Olympic gold medalist from Hungary. So his experience and getting him as a teacher over there, it's something great. And later I have, started working with certain private professional clubs over there. So I have gained a lot of knowledge, lot of experience, cleared all our barriers, called all our doubts regarding amateur boxing as well as professional boxing.
Because the interesting part, like you said, was, I think according to general knowledge, everybody knows Cuba is one of the finest boxing producers, for some of the finest boxers in the world. And so does Hungary. And you got the mix of both of them when you went for this course. And you came out with flying colors and gave India another seat also to go.
Yeah.
So maybe someday, now it's only men going. I'm just hoping that one day it'll be women people who will go to become Dronacharya Award winners like you someday.
Actually, last year also 2 of my trainees who have turned women coaches, they were also, they were also in the fray for the Dronacharya Award. Actually, one of my junior coach, she was my trainee too. She's from Manipur. Her name is Geeta Chanu. She has produced a youth world champion, even a bronze medalist in senior world championship. She was also in the fray for the Dronacharya Award. But unfortunately, she couldn't get, every year, hardly 1 coach only will get from one discipline. And, from all the discipline, hardly 3 or 4 coaches are getting it. Being the other young lady coaches, no doubt, as you said, the coming days, our women coaches also will make up into that level of receiving Dronacharya Awards.
Thanks to coaches like you who have coached our Indian women during a period where there was not much of Indian boxers, and all of them have performed and made the country famous at Olympian level, world championship levels. And interestingly, you've been traveling with this boxing team over 22 countries for Olympics, world championships. Especially I've been going through, you've been to Uzbekistan, you've been to Turkey, you've been to Norway, you've been to London, you've been to France. What, according to you, what was your most, based on your team, what was your best trip in the boxing perspective?
Yeah. Actually, see, of course, the best trip was in our country itself when we
Correct.
won the world championship. That was the
Okay.
highest result. And the team, everybody performed. We won maximum gold and maximum medals too. Apart from that, we had a tournament in Norway. We had a world boxing tournament. There also we fared well. And after
Okay.
that, we had a tournament in Denmark prior to our world championship. There also we won the team championship, beating all the European teams over there. European teams as well as some of the Russian belt teams. So
Okay.
those days, Indian team was ranked very high. As soon as we reached there, all eyes are on us. And they were very curious to know who are all the team members and which weight category they are going to box, because we have been shifting, some of our boxers in certain weight categories. For
Okay.
example, Sarita got a bronze medal in World Championship in 57 category, 57 kg.
KGs.
Later, we switched to 54 kg. And in India, during the World Championship, when she became a world champion, we brought her down to 52 kg. So that is the gambling what we have done.
Oh.
And, see, when we do some sort of gambling, lot of criticism, lot of risk is also there. If we fail, that will be the end of our career. No doubt,
Sure.
even the trainee also may say, bad, because previously they have won at least bronze. So when we have gambled, if it
Correct.
doesn't improve the medal tally or increase the performance, so it will doesn't matter. It doesn't come into limelight. So
Okay.
that's a heavy risk for the coaches. So that has happened. And even Lekha was boxing in 81 kg. During the World Championship in Delhi, we brought her to 75 kg, and 75 kg later became an Olympic weight category.
Okay.
And you will never believe, in 2006 World Championship, Lega boxed with a Chinese boxer in the final. Her name
Okay.
was Jinsi Lee.
Okay.
Later, she was an Olympic bronze medalist. Just imagine. And
Wow.
Lega retired. Lega retired, and Lega defeated her in Delhi with a margin of 39. Lega scored 30 points, and a Chinese opponent who has scored only 9. So that was a big difference. But after, see, when women boxing has been inducted into the Olympic Games in 2012, this
Mm-hmm.
Chinese girl won a bronze medal, whereas Lega couldn't take part because she got retired, and at the same time she got married, and she was, carrying at that stage. So this is
Oh.
a vital part for women. Once they change to the family life, they may be champions, but they cannot prolong. So this is
Okay.
a big,
No,
scenario for
that's
female.
very
So
that's very
some
interesting.
juniors get the chance to. Yeah, no
Now,
problem.
back to
Yes.
the thing, we'll come back to that. Is see, it's very interesting because of these women champions after they get married, and like I remember you telling me over a conversation that Lekha, and I mean they're all in the police. There as commissioner of police, great jobs.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, could you please explain
Yes.
these championships, the positions of these ladies, at least these?
See, in 2006 World Championship, for example, Sarita was a sub-inspector. Sarita and Mary Com was just a sub-inspector in Manipur Police.
Okay.
When they won the World Championship, we got the message there that the DGP has declared them as the superintendent of police in their state.
Wow.
The very next day, Jenny was a head constable. Based on boxing, they were posted as a head constable. And she also got a promotion, promoted as a superintendent of police in Mizoram.
Wow.
Whereas Lega was just a clerical staff in the, finance department, government of Kerala.
Okay.
And she couldn't get much promotion because they had certain restrictions and all. But after coming back, winning the world championship, we have given a representation to the chief minister, and later she got a promotion. She was given 5 increment, but now she is an undersecretary in the finance department,
Wow.
and very young of age. And definitely when she gets retired, she will be almost able to confer an IAS even, if they
Okay.
are, keeping on the track. Now, this Olympics, we have 5 weight categories. And, we have bright chances, Indian women, repeating the Olympic medal in the coming Olympics. So that's a great sign. Great
Okay.
sign. I will feel very happy because I was one among these pillars who have brought these girls up to this level. And
Okay.
last 2 years, I'm not going to the national camp due to certain medical problems.
Okay.
Otherwise, I was a regular coach in the national camps. And my presence over there was widely accepted by the boxers from Northeast as well as from North.
Okay. For all the readers, for people who are viewing, you must understand that Chandralal Damodaran has been the coach of the Indian boxing team, I think, over 25 times. 25, 26 times. You have been the coach of the Indian boxing team. You have the male boxing on one side, but it was the women boxing where you became an inspiration and a personal trainer for these women. I'm sure that you must have built a bond around these people because the way they have been trained by you, there's something beyond what do you call just doing a job, correct? It is more than that.
It is some sort of dedication and commitment is needed. You know, the starting days of women boxers, nobody was having a job. So they were all coming from, you know, no, I don't say they are from middle class families. They are from lower middle class families. So they were striving very hard. They are very hard workers. You know, I have trained the men team as well as women team. Women, what I feel is they will never waste time. Either they will give or they will take. They don't want to waste any time. Whatever, you know, the time is there, they don't want to fool around in the ring also. So the willingness of taking punishment was very, very high. Initially, we did not think that women has the capacity to bear the punishment. So by our experience, by training with them, we have been putting them in hard sparring too. So their willingness was very, very hard and they were hard workers. So that has really paid them. And in the initial days, building up techniques always takes more time. But conditioning them harder and you know, building up strength is easier at the lower level. So initially, Indian team was, you know, basically boxing. We were doing power boxing, not skillful boxing. For developing skill, you need time. And we were having less time. Since if you want to perform or peak faster, so we have to build up certain qualities which give you faster results. So we were concentrating in that. Later, of course, the skill plays a vital role and skill will remain throughout your life. The fitness will go off once you stop training. So apart in parallel to that, the skill training also came up. And it is just because of their mere dedication and hard work, which has, you know, diverted our concentration also to it. When they are hardworking, naturally, then we should also, you know, we should support them and should also guide them. So that has helped. That has helped vice versa. And no doubt they have achieved also good results. And no doubt we have also came into limelight. Better results were coming more than men. So naturally, the coaches who were attached with the women's camp were getting more recognition than the coaches who were working with the men team. So it is always a competition. Yeah.
So to put it very simply, I know it's very complicated, but you have the power boxing, you have the skill, like you said, to be built up. But in between, like you say, the weight categories, the training, the part of the training is how much role does food and nutrition play in this? I was always because
you know, see, not only food and nutrition is what we have. Since I have studied abroad, I have come to know the importance of sports sciences. Sports sciences plays a vital role. No doubt in India, unfortunately, these things have been ignored in the initial days. Nowadays, they have come into limelight.
Please explain what is the sciences, the sports sciences?
I mean, the sports sciences, especially sports medicine, sports physiology, sports biomechanics, and you know, see, anthropometry. So all these things are sports psychology. It is all connected for a person to perform. And what we say when we studied abroad, we have come to know that the coach is only a small ring in a big chain. That's what we say. We are just one small ring in a big chain. And everybody has got their duty to perform too. But this is not in India. It's in advanced countries. That's why those days, why these advanced countries were doing better than India, not only in boxing, in all the sports. But later now in India also, all these departments has come into existence, and some are doing well, some has to improve, some are still in the primitive stage. I'm not mentioning what it is. So these things has got a vital role. And of course, what you have mentioned, sports nutrition, this is a very, very big part. See, when we are in the national camp, no doubt there is a fixed menu, everything, good nutritionist foods are there. But we doesn't know whether all our trainees what they are eating. And when, as far as eating part is concerned, every individual has got likes and dislikes, tasty and not tasty. So we will go as per our taste only. Some of the vitamins which needed may not be tasty.
Sorry to interrupt in between. What I wanted to tell you was, I'm sure you know, because India is it's a big mix of so many states and cultures. So you have boxers coming from Manipur, Maharashtra, Punjab. So when they eat together or the part of the training, they will naturally tend to eat what they have eaten when they were young. Or is there a taste thing to it, or they will eat anything which is given for trainees, or do they have a specific food pattern?
No, actually, we have a menu. We have a menu which has been, made as per in consultation with the sports science as well as the nutritionist. Okay. Apart from the menu, what I have seen is, even in Patiala, our director those days in Patiala has given a green signal to all the trainees. What happened is, they used to have surprise checkup in the residential wing. And the director was surprised to see that every room is having a electric cooker, electric gas stove. Then he realized these people, even though the food they are providing is highly nutritious, quality-wise good, everything, still they want some food of their own choice, of their own taste. Then he has given permission to all the coaches, ask your trainees not to cook inside the room, because it's all, sometimes short circuit can come, it's all electric plugs and all. So so in order to avoid these type of undue incidents and all, he said after 1 o'clock the full kitchen will be free for any trainee to cook their own food as per their liking. So that vessels have been provided, even the groceries were provided, as well as all the facilities in the kitchen were provided. Because the girls from Manipur will have their own taste. The girls from Haryana has got a different taste.
Exactly.
So this was permitted. This was officially permitted. So what I feel is, see, especially the girls from Northeast and South prefers a lot of non-veg food. Understood? And some of the non-veg is not permitted inside our official mess. For example, beef is not allowed as per, our culture. So some of the trainees prefer to have beef, and, pork is not allowed, because the Muslims doesn't eat, pork over there. So Northeast children prefers to have pork. So in spite of all, and the girls from Haryana, some are vegetarian. So they have their own choice of having, rich vegetarian foods. So based on these conditions, the administrators given permission to have their own food, their own cooking, apart from the regular diets which is provided in our mess. So that has helped a lot. That has really helped a lot. Otherwise too, these trainees were hiding and cooking in the room itself. So because, see, they want their favorite type of foods. So as far as nutrition is concerned, I can tell you, some of the vitamins which is needed in the body are not coming through the normal intake because of likes and dislikes. So naturally, if you are monitored by a good nutritionist, well, test has to be conducted by efficient doctors. Then we can find out what type of vitamin is deficient for them. And no doubt, it has to be given. If it is not coming through the foodstuff, it has to be, balanced by vitamin supplements. Then only we can enhance the real performance of these trainees. It is a scientific process.
Scientific process. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you have just got an order you have now come back to Kerala, and the Kerala government has now or the central government, I don't know, please explain that your new posting in Trivandrum, the capital of Kerala, the G.V. Raja Sports School. Could you please explain your new position now? What do you
Actually, see, I was in Kerala. Since Sai is an all India transfer posting and all, sometimes many places this problem arises. Sometimes we have certain difference of opinion with the administrators too. So, see, we always fight for the, betterment of these sports people.
Correct.
So some people take it in a wronger sense too. So I have been fighting always throughout my lifetime, throughout my career in Sai for the benefit of boxers. I will never compromise in this aspect. So 2-3 times I have also put into trouble because I am not compromising for these things. So based on that, I was in Trivandrum. Last 3 years, they have transferred me to Aurangabad. See, it was also because of certain likes and dislikes. And me getting more image from the public. Some administrators will not, that will not digest for them. So I don't take it in wrong sense. They are doing their duty and I'm doing my duty. By a mere transfer, nobody can put the talent of a coach down. So 3 years before, I have been transferred from Kerala to Maharashtra for no reason. But after my retirement, I have come back hardly 1 month back here to Kerala. After reaching here, there were more than 140 applicants for the Lifetime Suresh Babu Award. And I was nominated for that. That clearly shows the effort and the hard work, what I have done during my full career, not only in Kerala, but in other parts of the country. That was well recognized by the administrators in Kerala State Sports Council. I really appreciate that. And second thing, throughout my lifetime, I was working in Sai, and my salary was not above 1.45 lakhs. I have come up to 1.42. That was my last salary, 1,42,000. But now I'm, I've been selected to join, and within 3-4 days I'll be joining for a salary of 1.50. So that's a big recognition as far as me I'm concerned, because I'm a retired man coming back after a very long tenure of 36 years. So no doubt my age is catch up, my muscles may not be functioning as it was functioning before. But still the government of Kerala is ready to offer me because they have trust in me and they know that I have done something for the sport and can be expected more in the coming days too. So that's a green sign. So if my parent department has, kept me away from my hometown, but after my retirement, I think I'm getting more recognition. And I think my second innings will be better than my first innings. That's what I'm, thinking of it. If the Almighty gives me the full strength to fulfill my dreams, I think, not only Lekha, not only Sarita, again, 1 or 2 world champions also can come from Kerala in the coming days. That's what I think of.
Absolutely, Chandra. We wish you all the best on that. That is for sure. But, think like Kerala government, the whole culture of Kerala, if you look in any field, the women have had some phenomenal roles to play, and the government has always promoted that part. We take any field, as a Keralite or as an Indian, you know that the Kerala women have been empowered pretty well by the government and the support they get. And I'm sure, like, I read somewhere where you had been invited to a school and where you spoke to small school girls. In fact, there's a picture of a small girl sparring with you. I saw the picture of that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Let's hope that you will take it across. What is your take on these young kids in schools, girls or boys? For boxing?
Actually, that photograph was in Ernakulam. There is a school by name Sahodharaya Vidyalaya in Ernakulam. It was a function. One of my trainee started a Dronacharya Boxing Academy in Ernakulam. That was the inaugural function held at that particular school. So I was the chief guest for that function. And it was an interaction with the, girl students. It was a girls' school.
Yeah.
So that was a function over there. As you have well pointed out that Indian women in India, initial days when we were doing sports, the Punjabi girls were dominating even in Indian athletics.
Okay.
Later, what happened? The Kerala women started, overcoming them. And Kerala women has dominated Indian athletics. Not only in athletics, volleyball, basketball, swimming too.
Correct.
So later, with my help, we have become, national champions more than one time, defeating the powerful Manipur team, which is, comprising of Sarita, Mary Kom and all. And those days, the federation was from Haryana. So Haryana was well funded and well supported and well popularized by women boxers over there. So beating Haryana and Manipur, Kerala becoming a national champion, it's something great. It is just because of only my effort. And I was the only coach, and all the trainees were training under me. And Kerala team was only my center team. We were not having one girl from outside. So that was the, initial days. And later we have, some of the girls who have been boxing with my trainees from Kerala, they used to say, oh, Kerala girls are very strong. They have very power-packed punches. Once you get the hard punch, you cannot survive. So that was the, comments what we used to listen from the women from other states. But one thing I say that, the Kerala has got a different culture. What I personally feel is, because of our religious tradition and, the system what we were following, we were not giving much, platform for our women to perform. That's what I feel. Not now, before. Now, they have crossed all those barriers and they have come into forefront and they are dominating in many fields. Even in politics, they are doing well. So what I feel is, if we given the right platform, if you give them an opportunity, definitely Kerala women will dominate. But they are having some sort of restriction because of they are scared of the society. They may be scared of their elders, they may be scared of their family members. So if we give an opportunity, if we give a right platform, no doubt they will dominate. So boxing ring is also a platform for them. There, it is a man-to-man contact. So it is a direct, nobody is going to help you inside the ring. And you cannot run off also because it is well protected with the ropes. So there it is a question like that, do or die. You have to react. And once I feel that a real platform, Kerala women started dominating and they have that instinct in them. Only thing we should find out and groom them and develop them. That is the only thing, being a coach, what we have to do.
Considering that you are taking charge now, you've always been in charge. Now you've got the charge, you're in Kerala. There's definitely going to be a turnout of women well-groomed, well-trained by you and your team, so that we can look forward to a lot of women boxers in high places, both in India as well as international.
Yeah.
My next thing was actually getting to the end of the interview. It's been a COVID year of all that beautiful training that hit, and this COVID has hit us. I'm definitely sure it's affected boxers in a certain range, but then now it's slowly opening up again, and there's an Olympics which has been delayed. But what is your view of these women boxers for the next World Championships and coming up Olympics whenever it happens?
Yeah. Actually, COVID, of course, it has not only hit in our country, it has hit all over the world. So this particular aspect is bothering every sportsman all over the world. But unfortunately, Kerala, especially in India, especially I can say Kerala. Kerala has given a lot of preventive measures, but still it has crossed all the limits and come out. And still there are a lot of restrictions. Even some of the stadiums are not open yet. And some of the, sports hostels run by Kerala Sports Council and SAI, some have not opened yet because they have, dormitory type of accommodations. So COVID, you need some sort of, separate isolation, and distance. These things are all bothering us. Whereas the European countries doesn't bother much because their system is entirely different. They have independent rooms. the socializing is not much, distancing is possible, and it is not thickly populated. So India and China, being the
Yes.
population
Yeah,
rate
yeah.
was also very high. So we had a lot of restrictions, no doubt. And boxing being a contact sport, it was not allowed to train. And see, because of for preventing COVID, contact sports were restricted. So
Correct.
naturally, the performance of our national boxers has gone down, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt, the other countries also might have gone down, but our effect is much more higher than any other countries. So still, we have a couple of months more because of the, our tradition is like that. Our children have the capacity to come back fast. So now the Boxing Federation of India has taken a lot of effort. One of our team is in Spain now. We had another competition in Serbia. So they are all picking up. Yesterday, Mary Kom has defeated one girl, and she's the first Indian to reach the medal stage today. So they have all started picking up. And what I feel is, even COVID has killed us, no doubt. In sporting activities also has been put into a halt. Still, I feel that Indian boxers are going to perform well, and definitely Indian women boxers. I expect minimum two medals in Olympics, two from girls' side, and we have two prominent senior men boxers also having the medal chances in Olympics. So total
Right.
4 medals is my expectation in Olympics if all things goes well in the
Well,
coming days.
okay. Anyway, it's been such an honor and such an interest talking to you because boxing has always, personally, it's been a very good, way to watch boxing. We watch it in the movies, we watch it there, but never got to know that friend, I would call you, from my hometown, where we
Yeah.
studied together many years ago, has
Yes.
reached a pinnacle in his life and has come back home. And like you rightly said, we are just a ring in a long chain.
Yeah.
You're just a ring, but that small ring in the chain, actually, I would go back to the golden gloves. So may you thrive. May more boxers be developed in Kerala, and may golden gloves remain golden. Thank you very much for coming on the interview.
Thank you, Monu. When you said,
Chandralal.
see, I'll just quote one more thing. When you said about golden gloves, in Tangisheri school, we used to organize, the state open championships, sometimes
Correct.
official state championships. Those
Mhm.
championships were organized by Golden Gloves gym, and I was also part of the organization also. So
Okay.
those days, the boxers from other district also loves to come to Tangisheri for taking part in this competition. It is only because we get a beautiful spectators, and I can say they were decent spectators who love
Okay.
sports, who love boxing. And
Okay.
you'll be surprised to hear Infant Jesus School Ground for witnessing boxing, 60% of the crowd will be female. So that much full support we used to get from the female crowd. They love
Wow.
boxing because majority are Anglo-Indians. They have some sort of, the sporting culture with
They
them
have,
itself.
yeah, yeah.
So that they encourage whoever is, doing well. They don't bother to encourage only the home team or the local boys. No, they encourage outsiders if they are performing well too.
Okay.
So I say that we had a beautiful viewers, spectators in Tangesheri whenever we had sporting activities, especially boxing over there. Now,
Correct.
for the past many years, these tournaments are not coming up in Tangesheri. Many people have, after me reaching, they used to say, "Why don't you have one more tournament? Why
Even
don't you
even I'm
still
even
continue
I'm
those
telling on
tournaments
behalf of the
there?"
daily brunch. Why don't you take an initiative to do something like that? Because that is a place
Yeah,
that.
definitely, definitely. See, Monu, I'm going to start a training, small center over there. At the
Mhm.
same time, we are going to revive the Golden Gloves boxing tournament. See, since I was a product from that, and now, of course, because of my reputation and my relationship, I can
Correct.
arrange good sponsors also. So let's, but one sad thing is, now there is no boxers from Tangasheri. That's the saddest part. Those days, we had local boxers also. So naturally, the involvement and the performance was good enough. So I thought of reviving some sporting activities, some training centers coming up in Tangasheri. And of course, the Golden Gloves tournaments, I love to have that once more. And we should also show the youngsters that still the crowd is good enough to promote boxing in that small, a distant place from the town known as beautiful Tangasheri.
Beautiful Tangasheri, right. So all the best to that dream and your mission. Let it continue, Chandralal. Thank you very much for coming on board and talking to us.
Thank you, Monu. Thanks for sparing your time.
Thanks, take care. Bye.